So we all know what's in this case, right? For those who don't, let me present. Oh, that sucks. Piplup, you ruined the presentation, like always. Anyways, let me present my Pokemon trading figures. I only have 6 and I'm able to play the game. And not a 3v3 game either, because I have to exclude Chimchar. I've been using him and switching him with Kyogres for bases, but it still doesn't help me with 6 vs 6. So, how does Dinuch do it? Huh? We obviously don't need this, so let's close up shop. How do I do all this? Simple. Mock figures. I've made myself a Shinx. I forget what this guy is. Slacking, I think it was. Yes. They haven't. I'll explain my way of making these. Seeking, Gothitelle, Clamperl, and Mew. And yes, these spin. They spin very, very well. They work well. And if I can't write their abilities on here, I write it on a separate sheet. So, without further ado, I bet everyone's wondering how I make these, huh? I bet you are. Allow me to show you. All of my key pieces are here. On this side, we got the yellow highlighter for yellow attacks, red to help color mist, black pen or something ink to write, thick black for tracing out lines, stick of hot glue because I'm going to be using a hot glue gun. I'm just powering it up. Sharpener sharpen. I lost my blue fine liner, so that sucks. All of this is going to be used by these more key parts. This whole base here, people wonder why I love card games and want to get boxes despite how I don't want some of the cards in them. These dividers. This here is also a lid from a juice. Concentrate, cleaned up and everything. This is a key item. Without this, you don't have anything. This is your base, your start, everything. Nice clear plastic sheet. Another reason why I love it when my friends buy just start decks. Or if I do. Of course, you got your choice figure. For me, I got this capsule Gardevoir. You pay $1 on a machine, it drops them. I've lately gotten like 5 or 6 don't even look like Pokemon. Despite how she's missing the red piece in her chest, I'm still gonna do it. Probably just cut something later on and glue it in. This here is your key, your master. So put her away to the side for now, because nothing here works without the ability to spin. That's where this comes in. Should I say these? You might be wondering what these are, huh? Well, I'll show you. Empty tape dispenser. You might be wondering how to get that out of this. I will show you. However, I will not show the filing portion when you file down your finished product, because unfortunately I have lost mine. So yes, to start it all off, take a section, bend it both ways. Make sure it's not in the middle because this isn't big enough. And just gently, and like nothing, this pops off. Shiny side is the side you're going to want down. Unshiny is the one you want up. This will stick better. You could use cardstock or anything else. I prefer dividers. They're thicker and have a longer way of lasting. So without further ado, let's start everything with the cutting. Get this and that from here. Obviously you will need this. It's not going to be the part we cut, so just gently take it out. Put it to the side. Now it has to be the Scotch tape ones that come in white, because they got the best friction. So take your industrial scissors, just start cutting. Do be careful. These crack easily. You want to take as many large chunks as you can. And also, this is where this plastic comes in. The bonus could be used to hold the tray of your shards. These can hurt. You want to be careful not to cut under this. That is your key portion. Now, these cracks here, don't worry if it cracks. Don't worry if you get a few under here. Use it to your advantage. See? Surprisingly, I find this calming. The sound of cracking, snapping, and shattering plastic. Cracked a little under. You want to try and avoid that, but I find with every last one, yep, it's inevitable. Oh, great, that chunk came out, so I got bust those off. You want to make sure this is as nice as you can get. You want to make sure you have somewhat tabs, but at the same time, not stuff that'll stick out too far. This way you can easily glue it without having glue on the here, because that'll create friction when you spin it. The more friction, the less it spins. Basic science with Dinuch. So that's the whole science behind these things that spin. Friction. Less of it, more spin. Now this is kind of rough, but it's pretty close down. I mean, look at this actual one. Mine usually end up about like that anyways. These little pieces get, come on. These little pieces get everywhere. So I do recommend having some way to dispose of them. And now let's get down to the business. These here, they stick out to grip it, right? You don't want that. So roughly put this next to it and measure up. You want to cut about halfway of this, because that'll match the inside. This way, in case you get a little bit of glue inside something later, it isn't going to be much of an issue. I forgot to warn, they like exploding. Cut slightly above where you want to cut, because they'll shatter on the lower. Yep. Shattered. So yeah, that's how you cut one up nice. Now if you compare it, it doesn't stick out very high. It sticks out a little higher than you want, so you want to file that down along with the edges. Just shows spins well. Sorry, lost grip. See? Spins nice. Because I'm pushing down on it, unfortunately, it's creating some friction there. This really spins. So yeah. This is your key piece. I will now show, how do I put it? Let's just say the assembly. So using a single piece of these, you can make roughly 2 circles. Take the lid you want, place it on, and you can grab any mark. I prefer the thick ones, but this thin boy will do. You don't want these edges, so try and avoid them, and use your lid to trace. Now obviously, because you're tracing the outside, it's gonna be bigger, so you want to cut inside. Trim a little further inside than you want, because this way it'll have a better fit inside. Let me show you what I mean. Now it doesn't have to be even, but you want to make it relatively. Yeah, kind of like that. Trim a little. This way. You can glue this in, and it stays in. See? Because you're gonna want to hot glue this in. Let me just go quickly do it. If you remember to properly do it by gluing the bottom, and then gluing all around the edge after you got it nicely in there, this is your next thing to do. You're gonna save this later for when you glue it. This here is gonna be your main piece right now. Now, go empty out your tray if you used it. Yeah. And gently cut out a nice little piece for you to use. This is the annoying part. You always want some, and then you'll use it all up, and gotta retrim these edges off. They're not needed. They're just edges. And I cut a little too much plastic, but I'm still left with the plastic sheet. Next up, if you really want to, you could put this on and trace it, but I'd rather be more accurate. You're gonna hot glue this onto the top of here by filling up all of here, gluing on, and maybe doing the edge, then trim. So I actually advise against gluing it in until after you made sure it fits extra big. Right there, for example, it's a little gapish, but that would work. Just be careful because this plastic actually warps easily with heat. You want to be careful of that because you're going to be gluing your figure on. And you're going to want to glue around it, on it, and everything. This way, if it hits the ground, it doesn't have that high of a chance of breaking off. So yeah, I'm going to glue this and I'll be right back. During the gluing stage, you're going to want to glue this on too. Remember, fill in hot glue gaps inside, not outside. If it leaks through these, prevent it. Push back with your gun or whatever you got. So yeah, do all that gluing and then I'll show the next step. I just got back from gluing and I had an issue. It might run into. You might run out of hot glue. So here's a life hack for you. got one of the pump ones, shove a pencil in there. Pencil crayons are about the same width as a hot glue stick. Shove it in there, it acts like one and pushes. Pushes far up there. Far up, forcing it out until the block of the actual thing comes. It gets jammed. It's stuck. But if you heat it, it's able to slip out. Careful though, the wood is warm no matter what. I had one that was warm for about 2 days. Now anyways, listen to this. That means there's a gap in the gluing plastic area. Connected. That is a problem. I ran out of glue, so I'm gonna have to re-glue that later. Now, you want to trim this after. And do watch your spots where you glued. Try and trim around them if possible. Trim them if they aren't necessary. And try and round it out for your finger's sake. There. I'll have to bit a spot so I can fix them up later. That's my Gardevoir. Now comes the important part. How do you know when you land it on your spot? This. I like it when their face is lined up, so face sort of lines up there. I'll make my rough mark. Imprint that quite a bit. Make it bigger. Color on the hot glue because I don't care. There. It's about lined up to her face. Or him. Gardevoirs can unfortunately be two genders. So yeah, close this up for now. I forgot to mention, you might want to try gluing this as close to middle as possible. It looks more professional. So yeah, now you want to try and find a piece that was done before using the actual game, or there's this Pokemon Duel game. It's got a whole database, you can search up figures. I know Gardevoir is on there. That's where I've gotten some like my Mew and my Gothitelle. Unfortunately, Clamperl isn't a piece in either of the games too, so I had to make my own. I looked, I found the games, and I found reasonable things. So if you do all that, you can have any piece you want. So yeah, I'm gonna flash on the screen right now what I used for Gardevoir. And now that you've done all that, made all the markings and everything, this should be your final result. A disc, you can color in here black by the way, and a figure that spins on it. Very well actually. I will go over these in a future video. But unfortunately I made a list of these figures because I don't have enough space to write their abilities. I'll write it down. I lost mine for the other 6. So yeah, till then, Danooch out, making all these mocks. Now you've known my method, so I gotta leave. Peace!